Coach, how was practice this morning?
It was fabulous, fabulous. The good thing was a good practice for us. I'm just honored, Brian, to be on Meador and Scott Hartley and all those guys that are Pirate greats.
I tell you what, they're two Pirate greats I got on with me today. Let's go back and talk about the Tulane game a little bit. 26-19, the Pirates fall. And what a tale. Dickens wrote, a tale of two cities. What a tale of two halves this one was for Pirate football, because the frustrations of the first half, but the defensive stops that highlighted that first half.
No question. Defensively, I think you got to pat our guys on the back a little bit. They had the offense down there 5 different times and held them to 4 field goals and 12 points, and really gives you a chance to come back and battle back in the second half and keep it within reach. If you let those turn into touchdowns, that thing gets out of hand pretty quick, and you don't have an opportunity in the second half. And then just, head off to our guys as well of readjusting at halftime, recalibrating, and coaches making adjustments, and going back in the second half. And in third quarter, I think we scored 16 unanswered points there, and really outscored them 19-7. I guess they scored the last touchdown there under a minute, so 19-14 in the last half. But at the end of the day, it's not a moral victory. You got to get off to a better start and play better in the first half. And it's all about little things, not taking negative plays, running the football better, not taking sacks, doing a better job in the punt game, and we're just winning the field position, and that'll give you a better opportunity to create some plays down the field and put yourself in better situations. Anytime
you're in that red zone, obviously you want to come away with 6 and not 3. And you had that penalty on the one drive, and it was a little controversy in that deal, wasn't it?
I just got off the phone this morning with Brian Platt, our head of officials for the American Conference. And, at the end of the day, we got to take care of us and do put the ball in the box and put the ball in the end zone. And I think that comes from straining a little harder, doing some different things down the field, and we talked about that all week in practice. But Brian, the new rule in college football is if the ball is snapped during a substitution, it's an automatic foul on the offense. And he did agree, like a year ago, that would have been a mulligan. They would just blown the whistle, because you still got substitutions taking place. You got their guys are on our side of the ball. You got their guys in our backfield. The officials aren't exactly in the position they should be. But they just felt like that's the new rule. Had to drop a flag there, and me and him both kind of talked through that. And I said, hey, we can't go back and redo it. It's done. It's what's done. I said, but I thought that would have been a good opportunity just to blow it dead and reset it and redo the game clock from that point, and let's go play third down again.
How do those conversations go? Because sometimes, the frustrations mount, and it's not, it's not real cordial, I would think, sometimes.
Well, I think we're all human. And I told Brian that this morning. I said, hey, I got to do a better job coaching. We all got to pull thumbs. I said, we all make mistakes. I said, I understand officials are going to make mistakes. That's what it is. I said, you guys are having to make a call and a bang-bang play. If I think it might be PI, that DeSerio had on fourth down or Anthony had on play. And, the official may not call it at the time. I get it. It's a judgment call. We got to do our best on both sides of it to be as perfect as we can. But we got to work through those things. And at the end of the day, we can't let 1 or 2 plays define the game. We got to play, so well throughout the game that it doesn't come down to 1 or 2 plays.
One of the key plays in the game was the, I guess you call it a little squib kick, little pooch kick that the Pirates were able to recover. Obviously, that's, again, one of those things that you see on tape that you think can work. And really, when you look at that, and I think you talked about it yesterday, it's not really that big of a gamble, because if you don't get it, they get the ball at the 35.
Right. You're always looking for places you can take advantage of your opponent, whether it be defensively or offensively or even special teams, and create an extra possession or create a big play, whatever it may be. And just thought we saw some green grass there on tape, and thought we saw an area of the field that we could take advantage of. And, really good job by our players hustling down the field and, attacking the football, making their guys hesitate for a second, and then Keelan Robinson jumped on it. We actually just went through that exact same scenario from a kickoff return standpoint this morning of how we need to react to it. I think you see Tulane's front line turn and chase, where you actually want your front line to kind of treat it like a sky kick and go attack the kickoff team, hold those guys up so they can't get down the field, and let your backline guys kind of get on it. And we did a good job of fielding that in practice today.
And as well as anyone the importance of special teams, and special teams can win a game and lose a game for you.
There's no question. I mean, And those can be frustrating because, you think special teams just be solid. They just get the ball back to the offense or, cover a kick or whatever it may be. But they can certainly win you a game and, certainly lose you a game for sure.
All right, late in the game, Tulane was able to kind of bleed the clock and not leave you a lot of time, and you actually had to do something I think you said you'd never done before. One of the oddities of that situation was that before that drive, I think Tulane was 0 for 7 on third down, and then they were able to put that drive together.
Yeah, dadgummit, they were 0 for 7 on the night. I thought we'd done a really good job and played some pretty good, decent defense, and they put a drive together, and we had a third and medium, a couple third and mediums in there, couldn't get off the field, and Retzloff made some nice throws and converted. I think they ran a wheel right out of the backfield that we didn't get our head turned around and go chest to chest in time, and then ran a little sprint out, moved the pocket, hit the flat route. We got to do a better job matching that in cover 3 there, and all that's on me. And you think you hear the coach from Arizona State yesterday just talking about getting out coach. Well, what he really means is like anything that goes. Any issues within your program is on you as the head coach, and certainly on me as the head coach. I got to do a better job of preparing for those situations and making sure we do exactly what we need to do to win the game. And then, the ball's at the 30-yard line. I think we hit them second down. We hit them for a loss, trying to push it to 3rd and 12. And you know where the kick line is. Like the 30-yard line, you feel like, hey, if he's kicking the ball from the 30-yard line, he's good. He's got the leg. But you also have a chance to, he's in the wind, put some pressure on and maybe block a kick or create a turnover on 3rd down there. So we knew that was the line that we need to keep him at. So we're being extremely aggressive defensively, and we just had a guy reach out and grab a face mask, and we got to do a better job of grabbing low and grabbing cloth instead of up high, and you're always risking the opportunity to grab a face mask there. So once they get mark the penalty off, they're down around the 10-yard line. I think there's 1:15 on the clock. You got to make the decision what you're going to do at that point. Tulane in a tie ball game, I think I probably would have pounded the ball inside and made you use your last time out and probably bled the clock all the way down, kick a field goal, and walked off with it. We didn't want to, have that happen to us. I think there's only about a 3% chance he misses it or you block it. So we went ahead and let him score, and I think that increases your chances to like 9%. So neither one of them was really good, but I'll always take the higher percentage. And, I'm not always going to go by analytics, also gut feel, but I think that was the right thing to do at the right time. And offensively, we drove back down the field and did give ourselves a chance to make a play in the end zone last play of the game.
Yeah, and that Hail Mary you talked about yesterday was really closer than I think many of us thought.
Yeah, I think during the game, I'm just you're sitting there on the sideline kind of hoping and praying right there, and you see the ball go incomplete, so you kind of your focus and mindset goes to all the other mistakes you made in the game that could have helped you win the game. And, reviewing it the other night and just realized how close it was. Their guys had actually missed time their jump. It had made it over their hands and was going right into Yannick's hands. And we had Quez Petaway there to play the rebound, so if the ball gets tipped backwards, he's there to play it. Anthony's coming in for the same. Javante Connor and Yannick are the two jumpers. Javante was reaching out, and Yannick had it timed out, and Javante doesn't realize where Yannick is, and just gets a piece of it to knock it away from Yannick. So we actually knocked it away from ourselves. So, and that's not anything on Javante. It just happens to be like we got to get in a little better position there, and it's that close to, being down 1 and trying to make a decision to go for 2. We're tied up at that point.
Yeah, I tell you what, it was that close after I went back and looked at it after what you said. Tulane beats East Carolina 26-19, so now it's on to the Tulsa game, the night of the Boneyard. The guys love the black uniforms. The helmets are going to have a new look, and it's really an exciting night for Pirate football and Pirate Nation.
Yeah, no question. I mean, a little bit more than 48 hours away, we're going to be back in Dowdy-Ficklen Stadium. And I know we got a little fall break going on this weekend, so the students are at home resting up for Thursday night. And just to be back in Dowdy with our fan base and with Pirate Nation is pretty special. But the night of the Boneyard is always pretty cool. And to wear those black uniforms, I think if our players had the option, they might wear those every game. But they definitely like sporting those. I told them today, and they had the new helmets on today. Said, "Hey, you look good. You got to play good now." So we got to make sure we're doing that, and that's the most important piece.
Tulsa comes to town at just 2-4, 0-3 in the conference, and the fact that you have a Thursday night game is hard enough after a Saturday game, but when it's on the road, that makes it that much more difficult, doesn't it?
It does, and I'm glad that this is kind of the last stretch of these Thursday night games. This will be the fourth one of the year, the third one in a row. I'm ready for the days to get back to what days really are. In our office, in our building, today is like a Thursday for a Saturday game. But these Thursday games became such the norm right now. Hey, it's a Tuesday preparing for a Thursday. But, it's a great opportunity for our program to be on national TV again. The ESPN 7:30 primetime game. I think the American Conference said their biggest viewership comes from Thursday nights, which we've been a huge piece of. And, Sports Center will be here on campus on Thursday and showing our university also. Just a great opportunity for our brand and our university to put their name out there for everyone across the country to see.
This is a Golden Hurricane team that likes to run the football, averaging over 150 yards per game. So, obviously, defensively, that's the first key, stopping that run. Yeah,
I think 21, Dominic Richardson's second in the conference in rushing. He's up there pretty close, and he does a good job with that. Trey Lamb, the head football coach, he was at Gardner-Webb a couple of years ago when they came here in 23. He's from Georgia, from the Southeast, so very familiar with East Carolina and our area. Several players that he took with him from East Tennessee State to Tulsa, so they know the area as well. But Trey's kind of a offense that's going to give you a lot of different looks. Formation year around, FIB, which means formation to the boundary, 3 receivers into the boundary. And he'll try to establish it with the outside zone, but he's going to scheme up some shots down the field, and we certainly got to do a better job of that than we did last week. And defensively, they play mostly a 4-man front, even though the defensive coordinator's background is more of an odd front, even some 3-high safety. This year they've been more 4 down. I think one of their defensive ends leads the conference in sacks. The corner, I think he's got 5 picks on the year, leads the country in interceptions, and they got a linebacker. I think that is their top havoc player, number 0. Who was with Coach Lamb at ETSU as well.
All right, not in the boneyard. Are you ready for all the students that dress up with the scary-looking outfits and that kind of thing?
Well, that's what somebody told me earlier. That I should just dress up with them and wear a skeleton for shirt. I don't know if you've seen skeletons as round as I am, so I'm not sure that would be much of a dress-up.
I tell you what. All right, Blake Harrell joining us to preview the matchup coming up with the Tulsa Golden Hurricane. Coach, thanks so much for your time. We certainly appreciate it when you come on with us a couple of days before game time. East Carolina and Tulsa coming up at 7:30 from Dowdy-Ficklin Stadium. The night of the boneyards, a blackout. So if you're coming to the game, wear some. Have you got your black outfit picked out?
Yeah, somebody asked me, said, "Hey, you usually wear white. What are you going to wear this week?" I said, "I'll be in all black." So we're good. I'm actually getting ready to go down and see equipment manager Steve right now, make sure I'm good to ride and make sure he doesn't have any white, and it's all black, and I'm good to fit in.
Give you the Johnny Cash look, right?
That's right.
Here you go, the man in black. All right, Coach, thanks so much. Good luck on Thursday night.
Hey, thanks, Brian.
All right, that's head coach Blake Harrell.